Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 17. You guys, I am so tired. This time change I don't know why 1 hour feels like 4 hours. I swear I felt like I was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. Anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, there's this guy that's begging for money in this parking lot, and I guess he's waiting for me to get out of the car. He probably thinks I'm dodging him, but you guys gonna see him probably walking back and forth behind my car. Anyway, you guys, so we see everybody's packing for Greece, getting ready for Greece. We see Portia at first. She's excited. She's with her mom. They're pulling out her beautiful Louis Vuitton luggage, okay? And then she gets a text message, and she was just like, oh my God, Mommy, should I call her? Then we see Eva. She's prepping for her confessional, and she gets a message as well. Okay, she's like, damn it, let me call Cynthia. Okay, and that's when we see both the statements of Kenya and Mr. Mark Daly, who put out that they are, to make a long story short, they're divorcing. This is the day after the event, okay, when all the shit went down. They both have put out these statements. We see Nene, she's on the phone talking to Marlo. And she says that everybody is asking her about what's going around in the blogs, talking about Kenya. But, Nene was like, I don't know, because Kenya don't talk to me. So I don't really know. Not trying to kick a bitch when they down. She tries to think of something nice to say and says she did look nice at her event last night. Okay. And Marlo was just like, she did. Her dress was cute. I wasn't sure if it was Dolce, though. It's so funny the things that these two come up with. Like, you worried about whether or not it was inspired by, or if it, but I guess these are the things that are important to Marlo. So anyway, Nene is just really trying to stay out of it. Like she said, her name is Bennett and she ain't in it. And then we see Candy and Cynthia. So it looks like Candy and Cynthia have actually made the trip over to Kenya's house before they go inside, though they're just talking about, all the shit that happened before. And Cynthia mentions to Candy that, she had been talking to Kenya, and the things that Kenya has told her about what Mark has done, she would have been gone. She wouldn't even have been sitting around for any of that foolishness. So they both go inside, the supportive friends, and Kenya is she's a wreck. She's crying, no makeup on her face. They give her a hug. She says she just doesn't really know what to do at this point. They mentioned that, well, your statement, you put out the statement, just this morning, like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she said, well, Mark kind of forced her hand on that. I wasn't really sure what she was saying, because I remember when the statements came out, I thought that she put her statement out first, but she didn't make it seem like she did, or she didn't even really answer the question. She said that she got a call from her publicist saying that Mark was going to put a statement out later that day. So the way she was saying that he forced my hand, I feel like she was just rushing to hurry up and put that statement out before he did. But I might be wrong, but I think that that's what ended up happening. So she puts out her statement. He puts out his statement. Kenya goes on to talk about what happened the night before. After they left the event, she said that he was just already in a bad mood the whole night. He was saying a whole bunch of slick shit under his breath, and really just really just trying to kind of take her there. Then when they got into the car service, I guess, once they got on there, he was acting up and going off and saying how he didn't really want her to be there, and all of this, a whole bunch of mean shit, so much to the point where the Uber driver wanted him to get out of the car, put him out the car. She said that he just goes on and on when he gets so mad that he has to continue until he annihilates her. And, because she's been in past abusive relationships, even though he's never hit her, just his verbal abuse, she's really not going to put up with that. So this is where we are. Cynthia says, okay, well, with all things considered, like, are you sure you even want to get a divorce? She says she knows that she doesn't really want a divorce. Okay, she wants her family. She believes that he doesn't want a divorce, but she also feels like her instincts are kicking in and telling her that he's doing something. Evidently, there had been some woman that had been texting Mark Again, a vague story, but sort of clear. Like, I guess this is somebody from his past that he's still in contact with. He's not active with this woman, but this woman is still begging him to have sex with him, with her. So I guess the text messages are her asking, like, can we continue this thing going even though you're married? Okay, so when Kenya went through his phone, saw that, she told them, and I called her. And, Candy was just like, oh my God, you called her? She said, yes, I called her. She had me on speakerphone, and I was like, you might want to take me off of the speaker because this is Mrs. Mark Daly calling. Okay, and basically threatened the lady, don't be calling my husband no more. I know where you live. You know how we can be. No mention on what happened with Mark, considering he's the one that's married and he's the one that is at least entertaining this woman, but that's neither here nor there. But now she's just like, what did I marry? Like, what are you doing out there? We're married, you still talking to old bitches, like what? So she's all upset. She even says that she respected her mom for not even putting up with the bullshit. She realized that the man wasn't for her, she just left that shit alone. So, Kenya can't appreciate that, especially where she is right now in her life. But yeah, she tells Candy and them that she can't go on this trip. And they all want her to reconsider, but I would have been like, fuck that trip, especially knowing what's coming your way. And side note, you guys, Candy, this confessional, I'm telling you, the golden arches across her fucking forehead. I mean, them damn eyebrows shot up, jutted up into her hairline, and King came back down like, they was like this. Why do you do that to your makeup? And then she had that bright ass blue eyeshadow on, and then her lips, and she had her whole Joker, and then her teeth. I was just like, you look scary. I'm sure that's not the look that you guys was going for when you sat into that chair. But I was just like, girl, every time you come on this I can't stand when people make their eyebrows arch up like that. Amber Rose does that a lot too. You look like the devil when you do that. That's not cute. Anyway, the day of the trip. Okay, Portia and Cynthia get to the airport first, and Portia is happy. When I found out we was going to Greece, I bought my mama a ticket. I bought PJ a ticket. She's so excited to have them accompany her on this here trip. And then, of course, everybody else starts to show up. Marlo, Nene, Candy. Once all the girls get there, well, Kenya's not there and Tanya's not there yet, but Candy was just like, well, they want to know what's going on with Kenya. Is she even coming? Considering they just, had put the statement out about the divorce. And Candy was just like, well, she didn't really want to come, but just in case she does, when she comes on the trip, let's try not to talk about the divorce. I was like, now, Candy, you really are asking a lot from this group of girls, okay? And just like Nene said, all right, she should have thought about that when she was bringing women in front of Tanya, okay, saying that was Paul's woman, okay? Now she's going to get the wake-up call that she needed. Wake up. And I cracked up laughing. Because even if you do feel sorry for Kenya, you got to admit, like, you know what? These things come around. That's why I always tell people you cannot be so big in your fucking britches to think that it won't ever happen to you. I'm telling you, it always does when you don't think it will. And speaking of Tanya, Tanya walks up and she's just like, I've never been to Greece. I just want to break plates. That's all Tanya's thinking about. So we're off to Greece, you guys. And of course, we see them on the plane. Everybody's sleeping or trying to get there. I don't know how long the plane ride is there, but they finally make it. They get their bags without any incident. Everybody gets on the bus. While they're on the bus waiting to take off, then we see Portia. She says, wait a minute, is that Kenya? She wasn't going to come, but then she said she told herself, I can do this, okay? I was just like, yeah, you was going to have to come on this trip. Okay, put on your big girl panties. We know it's going to be tough for you, considering the way you've been in so many other people's relationship, and now you kind of have to face the music. But listen, everybody has their time in the hot seat. This happens to be yours, Kenya. So if you don't want to, if you don't want to make it look like you are avoiding any type of confrontation because you were in the wrong in the past, come on this trip, face the music. Okay, Candy says, I'm glad that Kenya made it, but I wish that she would have gave me a heads up. I think that she's nervous about the other girls asking her about her marriage, which they are. Of course they are. You gonna think that this is gonna slide? Okay, but we won't jump on the girl as soon as she get on the bus. So, she gets on the bus. Nobody is really going to ask her right away, even though Marlo does mention if it was any other girl, Kenya would ask her about their divorce. And she would. Okay, but we're gonna step lightly, and we're not gonna give Kenya such a hard time right away. Okay, so she gets on, she puts on a good front. She's business as usual. She's the host along with Candy on this trip. So they're all just talking, making small talk, laughing. Everybody's in a pretty good mood. Okay, whatever. Of course, it's the same old drama. I think Cynthia asked, what's up with the rooms, or Portia, what's up with the rooms? How are the rooms? And I was like, oh my God, why is it? It's a fucking ritual that we have to go through this whole room thing every fucking season. Like, it's so played out. I'm so over it, but whatever. They get to the place. I thought they were staying in a hotel. Turns out they're staying in, it looks like a really nice B&B. Even though when I was looking at the rooms, I was like, we can't get more pillows than that, nigga. You got 2 pillows, and they was all against the wall and shit in each one of them bedrooms. I was just like, oh, okay. But I mean, it didn't look as grand as it could have been, but whatever. The house was nice, and it looks like it's enough rooms for everybody. But again, we've got to go through this whole competition for the rooms. All right, let's just get through this. So they all go to the patio, and Candy and Kenya, Kenya says that they've come up with some, interesting ways for them to compete for the rooms. Okay, so for the first game, I don't even remember what they had to do. Okay, but Cynthia ended up winning that one, and she chose the teddy bear room. Okay, so good, she got that room. Okay, the next one was, you have to take off all your makeup on your face. Nene was like, fine, I'll do that. Took all her makeup off with a wipe. Okay, and what is your room choice? Well, she chooses the second teddy bear room, which is adjacent to Cynthia's room. Okay, the next challenge is an eating challenge, and on this challenge they have to eat sardines, which is fine. I like a good sardine, honey. Put that in some mustard sauce. You had that one with the mustard soaked in the mustard? Child, you ain't lived until you had some of that. Put it on a Ritz cracker, bitch. What? But they had to eat sardines, raw octopus, which would have been a problem for me because I do love squid and octopus, but I can't eat it raw. And it was one other thing. So that was Tanya, Portia, and who was the other person? Tanya, Portia. It was 3 of them. But whoever it was, Tanya ended up winning that one. Okay. And so Tanya chose the room in the guest house. Okay, the bigger room in the guest house. All right, so now we've got, it was Tanya, Marlo, and Portia. So then the next contest is whoever jumps into the pool first. Portia, she takes off running. Okay, and I think Marlo was running after her, and she jumps in the pool first. And she said she wasn't worried, honey, because I got this good go naked hair in here, and it just does better when it gets wet. So even though that damn chlorine will fuck your hair up, I don't give a damn how quality your hair is. I tell you, that's chlorine is the devil. But fine, we get through that. Everybody gets to actually Portia won, and she was able to take somebody else's room, so she actually took Tanya's room. So Tanya still wound up with the worst room, which is fine because you're not really a housewife anyway. So okay, everybody's got their rooms, everybody wherever they gonna be. And Candy says, we have a dinner planned for tonight at 8 o'clock, so everybody go to their rooms and freshen up, and then we'll meet back here. Okay, so fine. I told you guys that Nene and Cynthia are sharing like adjacent rooms, and Nene was like, and that's going to be just fine because they've traveled together. You guys remember they were once sisters, so they know how each other rolls. They know, everybody's habits and all of that, so them two will be fine rooming next to each other. You know what I left out, you guys, when they first got there and Portia said, Oh my God, who knew that Grease had so much pussy? I'm so glad I didn't bring Dennis. It was just pussy to my left and pussy to my right. I said, girl, I love Portia because she shaded her own self. You know, Dennis can't be around too much puss, child. So I was cracking up. Portia actually is a whole bunch of fun this season. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Cynthia. So Cynthia gets all dolled up for the night, and then she goes over to Nene's room, and Nene is still trying to get her makeup and stuff on. And Cynthia says, I was just kind of hoping that since you're here with Kenya, and Kenya's having like a really trying time right now, maybe, you could give her some words of encouragement, or, just kind of tell her something that would uplift her. Okay, now Nene is looking at her like, are you kidding me? Even though Nene has been there and done that, with the beef that's going on between Nene and Cynthia right now, Kenya right now, she don't know. She always goes on to point out that she doesn't have a problem with Kenya. Just admit you do have a problem with her. You would be willing to not have a problem anymore, but the problem is definitely there. I don't have a problem with Kenya. Kenya has a problem with me. You guys both have problems with each other. Okay, that is established and has been going on for seasons and seasons. So don't quit saying that. Okay, but what she does say is, if I do say something to her, it will definitely come from a place of, sincerity. Like I really will mean whatever I do say to her if I say something. Okay, well, that's good enough for Cynthia. So everybody gets dressed and we all go down. It's 8:00, I'm presuming. We all go down to the table. Okay, we're going to eat. Everybody's there but Kenya. Marlo's like, well, where's Kenya? Okay, Kenya's in her room. She's on FaceTime with her nanny and her baby. Well, her baby is asleep. The nanny was like, you want me to wake her up? And she was like, no, you don't have to do that. Okay, but I can tell she was avoiding this dinner because the shit always goes down at that dinner. Y'all saw that big ass Grey Goose bottle? That motherfucker was huge. That was the $70 bottle. Okay, sitting right there on the table. So you already knew where it was going to go. But like I said, gotta face the music, right? So she finally comes on out there, and I will hand it to Nene. Nene definitely tried to make small talk with Kenya. Kenya was really trying to figure out if she wanted to ignore Nene or not. But when Nene says, Kenya, do you still have your dogs? It took her a long time to answer. And then she says, oh, excuse me, what? Bitch, you heard her. Okay. Do you still have your dogs? Oh, yeah, I do. And the baby loves them, and they love the baby and all of that. So we sit down at the table. It's a little bit of small talk. The food looks good. Candy's just like, this is not good for my diet. Girl, you on a diet? Okay. You always see Candy. She just be so plump and just real. I was like, girl, you just real extra juicy. Okay, almost on that Portia tip, even though Portia is taller than Candy, but Candy she real juicy too. So she said, yeah, she gonna have to lose a little weight because she's got some nude scenes coming up. Okay, and they were like, nude? Well, what does Todd think about it? All right. I'm guessing when Todd thought it was going to be a lesbian, then, he was going to be okay with it. But it turns out actually it was a man. So he just had to rearrange the way he felt about that. But he going to get over it because he get over everything because Candy is the one that's making the money. And if you want to still spend it, you better shut the fuck up. So then we're talking and Nene just brings it up. I'm not sure if it was the way it was edited or what, but Nene was just like, Kenya, I know with everything that's gone on between the two of us, I still would like to know that you're okay. Okay. I thought that was a very nice thing of Nene to say. And, I said, okay, Kenya, here's your chance. Here's your chance. Get out of the pettiness for once and just be open with these girls. So she starts off and she says, it is important for her to have her circle of girls around her. She thanks Candy and Cynthia for coming to her house, right after it happened. And she thanks Portia for being so nice to her. And, even Tanya, even though she was a bitch to Tanya in the past, and even thanks Marlo, doesn't say anything to Nene. Not really sure. Okay, I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and say maybe she meant Nene in that, but it was too easy for her. When she said, and Marlo, okay, Nene was right there too. Seemed like you would have just said, and Nene. Okay, thank you for asking, considering Nene brought it up, but she doesn't. But I think even Nene was trying to give her the benefit of a doubt and saying that maybe she meant all of us because Nene was the one that brought it. So anyway, she says, thank you guys all for being concerned. You know, I know that we neither of us want divorce, but kind of neither one of us know what's going to happen next. You know, it's just been kind of bad right now and they're going through some things and you know, all of that. So, but she says, but I don't want to bring a damper on the day, you know, on the trip. You know, it's not all about me. So, you know, let's just have like hot girl summer. You know, she raises her glass, like we're going to all just have a good time. And everybody's like, okay, all right. So I'm just sitting there like, well, we got through that. Nene didn't seem to get upset with Kenya leaving her out. You know, we wasn't sure if it was on purpose or not. However, Cynthia goes on to say, okay, well, you guys, I am going to be washing dishes. So I want, you know, Candy and Marlo and Tanya and Portia to come with me. And then I would like for for Nene and Kenya to stay behind to talk. Nene was just like, well, I can sit, you know, stay behind in fellowship. Kenya was like, nope, I'm going to sleep. That's when I was just like, well, okay, I guess that's that, you know. I was initially annoyed with Cynthia because I was just like, now we just had this little moment. You were pushing a little bit too much to try to have Kenya and Nene sit there and talk, considering how easily the oil and the water they don't mix at all. So you should have just left it alone. But you saying, let's have them stay behind and talk. Okay, it's not going to happen. So Kenya gets up and she's about to walk away. And Marlo is just like, well, see, I don't like that because Nene said she would stay behind in fellowship and you're just ignoring her. Okay, well, Kenya don't really have time. She don't feel like it. It's clear she's in a bad mood. Okay, Nene did try. I have to give it to Nene. Nene tried. Okay. The dog question, you know, saying that she was concerned for her. And then even opening her up. Why I can't fucking talk today? I haven't had any coffee. I'm so exhausted. And then even opening herself up to talk to her after everybody left. So that's 3 times, right? She tried. Kenya goes back inside and Candy pulls her to the side and she's just like, well, I just think that she kind of feels a little bad because you just didn't, you know, want to sit and talk to her when she said that she would. Okay, that's when Kenya says, well, you know, Candy, I have so much other shit on my mind right now. Like, I'm so bogged down. I cannot add another layer of Nene and her mess right now, which is understandable. Okay, I totally get that. That's probably what you should have just said. You know what? I am so not in the mood today. I'm in a bad mood. You know, that conversation probably wouldn't go well. You know, it's so funny that Candy is Kenya's moral compass. Candy is the only one that can get Kenya to admit that she's either wrong or gone too far. Okay, so when Candy pulls her to the side and tells her that, you know, Candy was just like, well, maybe you can just go back out there, you know, maybe try to talk to her. Here, take this baklava, you know, as a peace offering. I already knew the baklava wasn't going to work, okay? When she goes out there, because by now I've tried a whole bunch of times, you know, you kind of made me look stupid or tried to make me look stupid in front of this camera. And now I'm supposed to do what, you know? So she, goes back out there, and when she comes with the baklava, you know, Nene was like, okay, I'm done. I'm about to go to my room. Okay. So when she was heading into the building to go back to her room, that's when Candy stops her. And Candy was just like, well, she tried to go back out there with a peace offering. And Nene was like, listen. And Nene was so fucking fed up. She talked to the damn confessional. She was like, fuck Kenya and her bad skin. Okay. Okay, listen, I have apologized. She didn't really apologize, but she did try to meet her halfway. She did try to say that she wanted to make sure that she was okay. I believe that she was very sincere when she said that. And You know, she tried. She did her part. She tried, and Kenya is just not really willing to meet her halfway. Now, Kenya don't have to do that. There's a lot of bad blood there, okay? And sometimes it's hard, especially when you pissed about other things, to just try to be like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be your friend now. No, you mad at every fucking body, every fucking thing. You ain't got the patience, the time, the inkling, the none of that, okay? So I understood where Kenya was, where knowing that she's just fucking over all of everything right now. But I totally understood Nene, because Nene tried. Okay. So in this moment, we could not say that Nene did not did not swallow her pride and really just try to meet Kenya where she was. It didn't work. So Nene was like, I'm going to my room. I'm going to call my husband. Okay. Keep my marriage together. And she left. So, I mean, I still felt bad for him, but when I tweeted out that I felt bad for them, you know, that it was a misunderstanding, you know, somebody was like, no, Roxanne, it was not a misunderstanding, because, you know, Nene did what she did, and Kenya pretty much paid her dust, you know, and I was like, well, you're right about that. But I still feel like if there wasn't so many emotions already involved in everything, it was just something that she could have came back and said, listen, I'm sorry I cut you off like that. You know, I'm just fucked up right now, and I shouldn't have did that, you know. But Kenya's not going to do that because of her pride and her ego. I think Nene did swallow her pride enough to try to be there for Kenya in that moment, because Cynthia asked her to. It didn't work. So it's just fucked up all the way around, you guys. It is, but these two are just not going to, I just don't think that Nene and Kenya are ever going to jail. Like, they're never going to. It's been years of this, and with the exception of the reunion when they both jumped on Kim Zolciak, I don't ever see these two meeting. I don't ever see these two meeting up. Guys, let me go in here, buy my dinner for tonight, and then get on to get me something to eat. I still got 2 more stops, baby, before I get back to the office. So you guys, let me go. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.